A very lovely morning to you. Thank you for joining us today on Off the Press, a program where we take a look at all the latest headline in our newspapers and with the help of our guest, we make sense of it and then you go get a copy for yourself. My name is Felicity Ezewuike. I have two gentlemen here. I'll start with Gbolahan Olojede, public affairs analyst. Thank you very much for coming in.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
Pleasure to have you. And of course, we have Femi Idowu Adegoke, his social commentator. Pleasure to have you join us.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, we'll start with this day. We have quite a number of papers here. We'll just start and see how many we can finish off this morning. This day has Nigeria set to boycott South Africa as Nigerians rise against xenophobic attacks. It has a couple of riders to that story. FG demands compensation. Buhari condemns attacks, plead against retaliation, dispatches special envoy. One feared dead in Lagos as police disperse protesters fighting security around South African businesses. Lawan Wajabiamila Saraki berate the violence. It was like a hotbed yesterday across the commercial capital of Nigeria. We also have some other stories on the front page. Make security forces accountable for rights abuses. UN rapporteur urges Buhari. No to xenophobia. That's a press conference. That's the picture of the Minister of Foreign Affairs right there for you on the screen. At the very top of the paper, let's flip over there now. There you have it. We have domestic airfare rises by 25% on aviation fuel scarcity. We also have GDP drops to 1.94%. Analysts seek policies to stimulate growth. Details of that story is contained in page 8 of the paper. On the back, we have Oke Ikechukwu. Today is talking about the Transcorp Hilton tax precedent. What's that about? You might want to go read details. Let me come to my guest. Well, each of this, I know you definitely want to speak on this.
Of course, we should talk about the South African story. It's quite unfortunate, but we also knew we should have seen this coming. If all the people get from the government is we condemn in strong terms. Those are words. People were tired of hearing those words. Those words are no longer comforting to them. And that was why they did. We saw what happened yesterday. Unfortunately, why the people who did what happened yesterday think they were hurting South Africans, they're probably hurting Nigerians the more. Let me ask you, have you met a South African in Lagos?
Yeah, I've met maybe one or two.
Maybe one or two?
Yeah.
The average Lagosian has not met a single South African in Lagos. So I was in Cafe yesterday when they said they were harassing, they were destroying stuff in a DSTV office on Cafe. And I'm like, so that Cafe office you think is owned by a South African? You must be kidding. When you walk into MTN, you see South Africans? No, you see Nigerians.
They only own the brand, I think.
Yes,
and then
so
people buying.
It's a problem. Even the things that are in the shop in Shoprite, quite a number of those shelves are hired shelves. You bring in your stuff, you display there, you share the profit with them. They don't own real estate. Shoprite doesn't own real estate. So those real estate where you see them, they are rented real estate. So we ended up probably hurting Nigerians the more by the actions we took yesterday. But that is because the government has not been able to translate its words into action over the years. Maybe with these, we will stand up and do the right things at the end of the day.
Yeah. Do you actually see that happening? We hear the president is sending an envoy, but it's an envoy at this time. What is needed? There's been this ongoing back and forth conversation between the Nigerian government and the South African government, and there's been, it's not being targeted at Nigerians specifically, but with all of this, do you actually see maybe some sort of decisive action?
Well, I hope. I'm not seeing it with the action from Nigerian president yesterday. I don't think there's anything has changed. It's still talk. We saw Kagame from Rwanda yesterday came out boldly and made a statement boldly. Our president has still not addressed Nigerians up to now on this. We saw the vice president talking in the north where he went for a different program yesterday. He was just making a comment. But Nigeria has still not yet come out with his specific direct information to the people, which takes us back to what I always say about the government of Nigeria. We seems to show lack of capacity, incompetence, and this is what degenerated to what happened yesterday. Because our government has been lukewarm, not doing, but we keep talking, like he said. We're doing something, we condemn. No, you can't be going around in circles every time. But
do you share his position that the looting, the destruction rather of properties yesterday was more harmful for Nigerians?
Yes, I share that. It's rather unfortunate. It's just because Nigerians don't have informations, people are not learned to that level to know that what they did yesterday was actually hurting Nigerians. The South Africans, like you said, you don't have any interface. There are more Asians in Nigeria than South Africans. And we're Africans. And Nigeria played a part in ending apartheid.
So why are we so much in South Africa then? If we have few South Africans here, and then you have practically half of the population.
Do you want me to talk to that? Do you want me to say something?
All right, let's move on to other papers and see what we can do. I don't know if you want to talk about that drop. The GDP drops to 1.94%.
I think it should be GDP growth, not GDP. The GDP drops by GDP growth. That's the right word. GDP growth dropped by. So we're still growing, just that we grew by less percentage than we did in the last quarter. In the last quarter, I think we did about 2.1.
So that's headline is here.
So that headline is not. It's not right. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the Punch. Basically, all the papers have the headline on xenophobic attacks. Xenophobic attack in the Punch. Xenophobic attacks in the Vanguard, and of course we have uproar
about it.
Over killing. Yes, but it's talking at
you see, that's part of what we just said, that we're hurting Nigeria. The guy that died yesterday in South Africa.
He's a Nigerian.
He's a Nigerian.
It's unfortunate, really.
It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. And I hope the government learned some lessons from this.
Some people were actually quite happy when they heard the foreign minister said enough is enough.
That was the first time he was coming out with a strong position. Yeah. Hitherto, it has been, we condemn, those things are not working, obviously. If you've been condemning for 4 years and things have not changed, things have not changed, then you need to take a firm stand. So when I saw enough is enough tweet yesterday, I said, okay, maybe it's getting home, finally.
There's a picture in the Punch that I would like to also talk about. I don't know if it can be on your screen right now. It's actually on South African rioters looting shops. There you have it, the one at the top corner of it, looting shops owned by foreigners in Johannesburg. That's on Monday. You also have another one of Zulu miscreants gathering in Johannesburg still to protest. Youths protesting killing of Nigerians in South Africa at the Keja City Mall. This was yesterday.
Can I pick the use of a word in this that I don't quite agree with? Foreigners. I think we should be talking about other African countries because they're not looting Indian shops. Do you know the population of Indians in South Africa? Huge. Indian, Bangladeshi, Chinese, they're all there. They're not looting Chinese shops in that place. They're looting other African countries' shops. So the blanket word foreigners seems to be too...
Covers everybody.
It's too much. It doesn't drill home. It's other Africans. And it makes it more embarrassing because you're wondering. The people who have a hold on 80% of your economy, because actually when apartheid ended, the blacks got the political power, but the economic power in South Africa is still in the hands of the white. They all own up to 85% of the land, the choice lands, the choice lands in South Africa. You know,
we certainly hope that we'll find some, some end to this before more lives get lost.
Yeah.
Let's look at some other headlines. We have this one on the $9.6 billion judgment. FG insists on probe, confident of victory. Not the first time we're hearing we're confident about something. Special forces to police Southwest Forests, IG. We also have NLC will agree with negotiating council's decision, says WABA. We also have something on presidency, Oyetola defer on state local government joint account, NFRU. let's see, at the bottom, there's something that caught my interest. Naira Marley's songs, lifestyle influenced me. And this is a 16-year-old cybercrime suspect, probably in PoliceNet, speaking.
Most likely.
A lawmaker's kick as controversy hits Umahi's house raid. Ogun, Lagos reach agreement against land grabbers. Partial closure. Gridlock returns to Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Ondo man sentenced to death for killing girlfriend. Let's see what's on the back page. NIMC, a bank's misguided rejoinder. What's that about? You might want to take a look at it. But let me come to you, Dr. Idowu Adegoke. Which of these would you want to talk about?
Okay, let me quickly just make a comment on the Naira Marley issue. It just explains how our social value has degenerated in a country like Nigeria, where we no longer censor what goes out in the open when it comes to our entertainment industry. And that is why I read a bit about Naira Marley's case and all these
investigation.
Yes, investigation and all that. And then this young man, 16, said he's being motivated to do wrong because of Naira Marley's song and lifestyle.
Yeah.
So he's seeing Naira Marley as a mentor. And that is what a lot of young Nigerians don't have. We don't have right mentors right now in the country. We've lost our social values. The fabric is broken down. People are being guided wrongly. And that's why we have more young people in crime.
This mentorship business, I'm beginning to worry that it's losing its essence. You talk about mentorship and then you hear somebody saying Naira Marley, you hear some people saying certain personalities with very, unsavory kind of personality as their role model, and you worry, really.
Because roles have been defined by money and fame. So if he's rich, if he is famous, then it's worthy of emulation, it's worthy of following or followership. And that is not the way it should be defined. There have been times in the past when, as Nigerians, we will say, don't go to that guy's house. It's not a matter of whether they don't just want you to associate with people of shady characters. Yeah. But it seems as if those days are gone.
All right, let's see the Nation newspaper now. Still on the killing in South Africa. You find details on pages 2, 3, 6, and 7 of the paper. The Nation really went out. Pictures of all the destructions here. Bloody day as youths attack Shoprite in Lagos. 2 dead as police lose van. Some other riders to that one. And then we have Wadumi still in the news. Today it says, Wadumi, army will punish culprits. Buratai talks tough. 2 more suspects on FBI list arrested. That's EFCC holds 293 people over this case. Wow. Obioma orders for Booker Prize seeks to raise for $60,225. Those are some for you. And then there are snippets from the comments made by the Vice President, the President of South Africa, and the Federal Government of Nigeria on the front page of the Nation newspaper. And at the back, we are still talking about the $9.6 billion P&ID mess. And then we have Ganduje and the politics of exclusion. Gentlemen.
I think we should comment on the P&ID thing. Because $9.6 billion US, which is probably more than our entire capex budget for 2019, is something worth talking about. Who is P&ID? And I think the more we look, the more we see that there is a huge scam at the bottom of this P&ID mess. Huge, huge scam. You have a company claiming 20 years projected profit. That if this business goes through, this is how much I'll be making in 20 years. So you are claiming it as a profit, but there was no project. It never happened. Number 2, you have a company saying, I invested $40 million US. And you say, okay, can you show me where this money is? We cannot see it on ground in Nigeria. CBN never received it. If you import dollars into the country, you have what you call the certificate of capital importation. CBN said, nowhere in my books, the dye received 40 million from PNID.
So
where is the money?
No, but couldn't all of this have come out during the investigation, the court processes, and all of that? Why did we even get to this point?
I think we handled it with kids' gloves. I don't think we approached it with the seriousness it deserved. It's as if, oh, it's a little matter, it will fizzle away. It did not fizzle away. And it goes to show how we address very serious matters, as a matter of fact.
In this country. Let's hear your thoughts on that before we pick on other issues here.
On the PID case, I think it will go down as one of the greatest scams that's happened in this country. There are Nigerians and foreigners behind it. And I think the government knows more than we know now, because they are beginning to talk tough, like we expected them, because they're saying they're going to go down. But I just want to see how they can juggle both the court case and the Nigerian people, the Nigerian individuals or government officials at that time who signed this contract. Let's begin an investigation. Let's know who was seated at the discussion.
Some will say this talking tough that you mentioned is just a surge.
It's blowing air.
So that people don't get overly heated while they try and walk out a situation. Because this would not be the first time, to be sincere, that our government is talking tough about issues. Do you see a follow-up, a success rather, in this particular case?
Yeah, it comes down to our National Assembly and the people. We need to ask questions. If we don't keep quiet, if we keep asking, then the government will have to do what they need to do. We shouldn't let it be swept under the carpet.
Certainly hope so.
You know why it will be difficult to sweep under the carpet? We're talking of $9.6 billion US dollars.
I can't even imagine it, so there is no point even talking. This do me case. On a daily basis, we seem to have some little headline about the land.
It will soon disappear entirely.
Is it disappearing, or it's just to keep us abreast of what's going on?
If we don't keep asking, it will disappear from the biggest. The time when it was hot is past. I hope you can feel that. Bratai just mentioned it in passing when he was talking about something yesterday. But it would be nice, and I think the media has a role in this, to ensure that we follow through and that those who have done wrong get punished.
The report that was supposed to have been released like a week before now.
He said the report is ready. All report, the police report, the army report, everything is ready.
So why is the public not having access to it? Why is it not made public?
Your media, ask.
Well, I will ask, but the one thing is to ask, the other is to get the right response, you know. Okay, let's see what we can do. We have very little time left. Vanguard newspaper, let's see what headlines. Aside from, we have the PID. We also have entertainers condemn attack on Nigerians in South Africa. A couple of their pictures are there on the front page. We also have Ibadan traditional crisis. No law has abrogated our crowns. New kings insist. Taraba police killings. You won't be spared if indicted by pro-panel. Buratai tells soldiers, that's on, I guess it's on the
same story,
yeah. How we used research to oust PDP in 2015, that's Fashola speaking. Nigeria's bastardized local government system fueling insecurity, that's the SGF. Let's see, we've already seen the xenophobic attack, so there was no need repeating that. And then on the back page, we have sports. Let's see what we can do with the front page of the Vanguard, and then we'll take a look at some of the sports stories.
You want to take a shot?
Okay.
We have a couple of headlines here. We use how we use research to oust PDP. Taraba police killing. You won't be spared if indicted by pro-panel. And then Nigeria's bastardized local government system fueling insecurity. Let's take on that one. Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay.
On bastardizing of the local government system, because that's the closest arm of government to the people. And it's non-functional, which is why it's being controlled by the state. Yeah. I'm an apostle of independence to the local government. But right now, we can't give them local independence, autonomy, because of the type and kind of people running the local government affairs. So
I think it's a chicken and egg situation. Which one comes first? We probably can try to do the two together. While we improve the governance at the level of local government, we also have to give them some autonomy, because we will never grow if local government doesn't function.
Maybe that's what some people want. I'm just saying. I don't know.
It's possible. There are all
because
sort of
this issue has been dragging endlessly. And what is the big deal? How much does it take? Is it that we don't have confidence in our local government chairman, or is it that governors? I mean, they can.
They're unpicked.
Yeah.
They're not the true reflection.
Anyway, we have just 5 minutes. Let's look at the sports stories. Complete Sports is here. NFF renew Abraham Chase. Pinnick vows to snatch Chelsea star from England despite strikers 2 caps on the Southgate. We also have Sanchez has no regrets over United move to wear number 7 at Inter Milan. Juventus consider move for William. Ronaldo wins record 10th award, Portuguese Player of the Year. Revealed Barcelona, Madrid never serious about Neymar Pogba deals. Those are some stories for you on the front page of the Complete Sports, and then on the back page we have some transfer stories there as well. We'll just look at the back of Vanguard. We also have sports. Butchered transfer, Neymar Barca set to meet in court. Ronaldo named best Portuguese player. Judge undecided in Lukaku's racism case. Details inside. Gentlemen, let's just pick on this and then we'll just wrap things up this morning. I'll come to you.
Okay. On Neymar and Barca set to meet in court. Well, it's always been a messy relationship between Barca and Neymar. He wanted to come back, but Barca couldn't afford the request of PSG. So we don't know what is signed, what agreement is had in person with Barca, which is why they might have to sort out in court. And then on Timmy Abraham, I think Nigeria will go for him. Now he's a young lad. He's started for Chelsea this season, and he's banging about 4 goals now. So in Nigeria, we're shopping for a new striker.
All right.
Yeah.
So your quick thoughts on any of these headlines? Any sports?
Okay, well, Ronaldo for the 10th time as the best Portuguese player. It's also not unexpected, being a world-class player that he has been. Even winning at the world stage as the best player, the world best player. So how much more in Portuguese? But having done it for a decade, is something worth celebrating.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on the newspaper review this morning. It's pleasure to have you join us always. And of course, to you watching, thank you very much for spending your morning with us on the program. We hope that we're able to shed some light for you. Please go grab a copy of the paper and read in depth so you get a better understanding of these headlines. My name is Felicity Ezewuike. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.